one's money.
This is Zip Squad, bitch.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Sauntering, maitre d' staying flabbergasted.
I wonder if this next match will work out as beautifully, because we all pretty much agreed that was iconic. If he wasn't asleep, I'd probably message Bruce. He'd be like, "Yo, you think this man?" He probably went, "Fuck it, I'm going to bed. 4 a.m. comes early."
Seriously.
All right, let me cue up this next bad boy, and here we go. Oh my.
Ooh.
This one's going to be a little interesting.
WrestleMania 28, the first one.
The Rock's
Once in a lifetime.
The Rock's comeback against
Yeah,
John
once in a
Cena.
lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, right?
Never before, never again.
Right, sure. Just like every wrestler's retiring and they're never coming back.
Oh man.
So considering he's family of the tribal chief and we went to him last, let's kick things off with Devin here. Do you consider this iconic?
This is family.
It's family now.
I'm trying to decide, is this even an iconic moment in my book, just in my list? I'm just trying to figure that out. Right.
I'm trying to hold it in. Because I got a long way to wait.
because just the way they built this shit up and just like, oh, never once again, never before, and then they go again the following year.
They did it again.
That's what I'm trying to like. You know what? Fuck it. If I want to, I guess I want the smoke. It's not iconic. No,
It may not be smoke, but yeah, just that's how
I
I feel.
don't know, man.
There's
probably more smoke coming out my mouth right now. I'm just saying.
Like they had something and then they just dropped the ball, you know, after the aftermath of it, of just repeating the same match again. But yet the first time they're going with never before, never again, once in a lifetime. Like, okay, this is all right. So this is not gonna happen. This is gonna be the one and only match. This is
all we get.
That's all we get.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, never again. Never again. You know what I'm saying? Once in a lifetime. This is only one time I can see in my lifetime.
I swear to God, I feel like
so I'm just gonna
I feel like we needed to have that Maury Povich moment where like you open up the envelope and you said John Cena versus The Rock was going to be a one-time only thing, and the lie detector proved that was a lie.
That was a lie.
Okay, I'm sorry, Hafeez, give us your input on this match, man. Do you think this is iconic?
Okay, so for me, this was definitely on one side. You have The Rock coming back. This is in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. So in his hometown, he's making his return.
Yep.
Real life issues potentially with these two. Cena called out The Rock years before that. Oh, he went Hollywood. You know, he's off doing movies. He's not really a true like wrestler or whatever. Like just talking shit. Right. And then Rock comes back, and then we're using real life with the storyline a little bit. You know, and then even you got John Cena calling out The Rock for his promos, saying your promos are written on your hand. I see you doing that, saying, he's missing a step. And, I'm just like, Rock, get back at him. And Cena, I think, is kind of winning the promo war, and it's blowing my mind because it's The Rock. And I'm like, no.
I'm sure if Hafeez and I could, we would have been sitting there looking at The Rock like Redman and Method Man and How High, going, get him.
Get him.
Get him.
But there's no denying that every time The Rock went out there, the crowd was just like, oh my God, this is The Rock. This is amazing. Yeah. We're on your side. And to have that moment.
The crowd was, dare I say, electrified?
Very electrified. Very electrified. I mean, for me, the match overall for me is an iconic match just because you had yes, the once in a lifetime thing. I understand that part. But you got John Cena, that is probably the closest thing to The Rock in terms of being that charismatic on the mic type of guy. At that time, he's face of the company. You could see the comparisons. Like in my mind, I'm like, John Cena was a Rock fan, and then became a wrestler, and like wanted this match more than any match probably in his career. And to see these two guys be able to go at it, and for Rock to win that matchup too was big, because I did not want John Cena winning that match at any cost whatsoever.
Yeah, me
I was
neither.
like, Rock has to win this match.
He's like, if Rock's coming back in his hometown, he better win.
He
I
better
know
win.
how WWE does
He
with
better
people in their
win.
hometown. It's Big E.
Yeah.
But this is The Rock.
And it's kind of like, I don't want to spoil it because it may come up later, but like when Hogan and The Rock, were faced up against each other, that was such a moment, because you have these two people from two different generations,
Right?
that, they were the two of the top guys from their respective generations, and in this situation,
I brought it up
you have-
already.
Yeah, you have that again. You have that with John Cena, love him or hate him. John Cena was the man, he was that guy. And for The Rock to go against him and, have this moment, and the crowd just was all into it. And, The Rock was, I would say this, that the only knock on it for me was that I wish maybe it could have happened a little bit earlier, when The Rock was a little bit more still in his prime, versus later on in life, where you could tell he had slowed down a little bit, but he sure put it all out there. He really did.
That's
so
fair.
For me, it's just icon versus icon. Yes, it wasn't the last time, but it was an iconic match.
No, it wasn't the last time, that's for sure. Okay, so we're split so far. Let's go to Grandma Wendy. What did you think of The Rock versus Cena 1, which was supposed to be 1, but it was 2, but this is 1.
Well, after watching the highlight reel,
We know.
it was a good match, but it wasn't like the best thing I've ever seen. It wasn't anything to write home about. It's not something I'm going to be like, Ma, you got to see this. And my mom loves The Rock. My mom's like, that's your new stepdaddy. Okay,
after
Mom.
she divorced Scott Hall, that was going to be her
that was
her
the
new
new one.
stepdaddy.
Yeah. It was good. I'll just say it was a good match, I guess. Question mark.
Okay, good match. Okay, fair enough. So now we got 2-1. Gonzalo, what you got?
I think this is more like names. Of course, we have John Cena and The Rock. It's like an attraction. It's like when, I don't know, Metallica is playing in a festival that just have underground bands. You get me? So I think it's not a big hype, but it's like more like two icons facing each other. But we know that it's not gonna be the greatest match of the old times. It's something that just we were waiting for. It's like they throwing shades on for a long time, and actually this match was made with 1 year of build up. They
Build promos, that whole thing.
They started the day after WrestleMania 27, and they made that match that day. Actually, they were attacked by the Core, if I'm not wrong. But
I think they were actually.
And that's it. I think that it's an okay match. To me, it's an okay match. That's
okay. It. I was a little worried having 6 people. We might end up with a push, but right now we've got 1 vote for iconic, and 3. So I gotta go back to Hafeez's point and say, like, I think it would have been iconic if The Rock wasn't as old as he was, or that far removed from the ring as he was. Honestly, out of the whole thing, out of the whole year build up into the match, I think the most iconic thing of all was probably The Rock cutting the promo and talking about Cena's Fruity Pebble shirts, and then getting fans to chant "Fruity Pebbles."
But that was
probably the best thing
that
came out of that whole year, because
ironically,
ironically,
before WrestleMania 27, actually.
yeah, but ironically, I used to sit there and say that type of stuff about Cena. I was like, Jesus Christ, every week he's got another fucking neon shirt. Walking out here like a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. What the fuck is wrong with it? And it was like The Rock read my mind. I was like, bro. Like, you're welcome. But yeah, I we can nix all hope on a push because I consider the match good, but I wouldn't even call it great. So it's damn sure not iconic. Felipe, wrap us up.
For me, it's a good match. It's not great because we're talking about this. This is a good match between two icons. And The Rock, okay, he was not on his prime in the wrestling ring, but outside the ring, he was in his prime, just starting his big come out. I think he was just filmed just one of the Fast and the Furious series, but he was enough big to be headlining that WrestleMania. Another WrestleMania that had a really good card, and I think that this is not going to be the last that we are talking about this WrestleMania. But this match, it was good match. It was a good wrestling match, but it didn't have a moment. I think the moment is when they start the match and was face to face with the crowd, just like the photo to see Cena and The Rock after 1 year and more of the storyline that started WrestleMania 27. So it was like we are all waiting, and it was a good match. But for me personally, that event, that pay-per-view had an amazing, even more amazing match for me. But it was a good main event, a good WrestleMania.
Oh no, it was damn
event.
good. It was damn
but
good.
Not great
but
and not iconic. Iconic.
It was one of those matches that I looked at.
Package,
when I looked at it on the list of the 100, I looked at it and I was like, really, this is on there? Like this one?
No, for me, deserve. It's important for WWE. It's important for Cena.
It was definitely important for
match,
Cena.
Yeah.
This match put himself to Cena in the same level of The Rock and the mainstream, for saying, I think. This certified John Cena as a mainstream guy, not as WWE superstar, a mainstream guy, and the rest was history.
Yeah. I mean, and to your guys, like, I hear what you guys are saying, and I respectfully take everything in that you guys are saying about the matchup. Me as a fan of The Rock, and just again him coming back and it being in his hometown, it's like I was just so excited to see this matchup.
Yeah.
And with John Cena and him, I'm like, okay, I'm interested in the dynamics here. And it did have one moment, I don't know, maybe you guys don't remember this part of it, but Cena trying to do the people's elbow, when the crowd just going nuts, like, oh no, you fucking better not.
You don't
you
do
better
that.
not do this.
You do not.
Right.
You went like this.
Yeah. So that was cool. Another thing too, though, that I wish would have came out of this matchup was a heel turn for Cena. Because I felt like Cena was at a really low point after he had lost this. Yeah. And I thought,
you are not wrong, my friend.
Then that becomes the iconic match then.
Yeah, this would be it. That would be the thing to finally make him turn. But
yeah,
I hear you. At least Hafeez got to have his John Cena moment where he stood in the middle of a hostile crowd and he just didn't back down. So you got to respect him for that.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the next match.
So this put it on the good match.
Yeah, put it on the good match. Let's move on to the next one here. Drum roll. Ooh. Oh, this is one of my personal favorites right here.
Nice.
WrestleMania 10, the ladder match for at the time both Intercontinental titles between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon. Felipe, we're going to start with you. Choose your words carefully.
No, this is easy because we're talking about iconic moments, iconic matches that transcend generations, and matches that make inspirations on others. How many wrestlers has been inspired for this match?
Right.
We have like every week now we have a ladder match in some fashion. NXT,
Maybe
MLW, maybe
Maybe
more.
a whole
The events.
pay-per-view.
And you know the fact
TLC,
that
baby.
this match wasn't the first ladder match. It wasn't the first one, even the first one in WWE, but it's the one that made this match
The most
important.
iconic.
It was the most iconic
That's
ladder
for
match
me.
in WWE.
This match deserves nobody but as an iconic.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo a lot of what Felipe had said. Like they had some ladder matches before this one, but they were very few and far between. After this match, it seemed like ladder matches were just the thing. Like, oh, we got to do this again and again, and we'll have Money in the Bank. It's a ladder match. We'll have TLC, all ladder matches. We'll do this, we'll do that. It all came from right here, and deservingly so, because these two showed the fuck out in this match. Like, even though like there were no losers in this match, even though somebody technically did. You know, both men were propelled into new heights after the fact. So I would have to call this match iconic too. It's almost hard to say it isn't at this point. But let's see if Gonzalo does.
I agree with you, man. I think it's hard not to put another part than just iconic match. I think I still have some memories of Sean throwing up from the ladder. Man, I think the story of this match, it was pretty good. I think the Razor Ramon and HBK had some good chemistry, and they were in the right time and the right moment. Man, this is what you get. That's what we got.
I hear you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I seriously think sometimes like Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon should just cut a video. I don't care if it's on YouTube or whatever, where they just sit around and every time, like, you know, TakeOver just passed. You know what? Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, you're welcome. Money in the Bank next month, guys, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, next time someone has a ladder match, here's Scott and Sean again. You're welcome. Like every
Please
time.
rename the ladder match just the Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels match, and
Right.
we got it. Yeah,
Right.
So
this next match is a Showstoppers Chico match.
Go match. Oh, that's great.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
And since I made this survey, I just want to say, survey says one more for the bad guys.
Hey!
Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I got you.
There we go.
Number one answer. All right, Grandma. I know you're probably watching the highlight reel, even though it's burning
You're
your
watching
brain.
the highlights.
She didn't even gotta say it this time. You know.
No.
Let us
As
know
I'm
what you
watching the
how you
highlight
feeling.
reel, even though like this is one I don't need to watch the highlight reel for, it's an iconic match with iconic moments. And if anybody disagrees, I don't care where you are.
Stop
I will
watching
find
the
you.
highlight.
Stop watching the highlight
I mean,
reel.
I'm sorry, I don't have the memory for it. I'm old. I don't remember
That's
shit.
okay. That's okay.
There's a reason we call her Grandma, Wendy. Okay.
I can't remember shit, man. It's the end of the fiscal year. My mind's in other places. Come on now. No, this was definitely iconic match. Like I said, iconic moments. And it was, yeah, okay. So other ladder matches came up, but this is the one, this is like the first one most people remember, honestly. Anything before it, I'm like,
First one I ever remember.
This is the first one that pops to mind when
See
someone
this
says
shit in my
ladder
dreams, man.
match. Iconic.
All right, Hafeez.
Yeah, it's iconic. It's an iconic match. It's the most iconic ladder match ever. You know, there's this one and one that may be on the list, maybe not, but the triple threat tag match at Mania, Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian. Like those two for me are like best ever. But this is the one. Without this one, you don't have that one. So
Yeah.
it's
Like
iconic.
you're right. Like the ladder match and then the first TLC match. They're like the gold standard for ladder matches. Not just in WWE. I mean, like in wrestling. you know, because Lord knows ECW tried and they had some brutal shit, but those TLC matches kicked the crap out of them. And that's me saying it. Me. Okay, so now that I've vented that, let's go to the tribal chief and see if he makes it unanimous again, which is amazing to me.
Yes, definitely an iconic match here. These two is unreal because these guys do have great chemistry between Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. You could just see how the guys, you know, counter each other, but do include and tell a beautiful story that includes a ladder. You know what I'm saying? That was insane. Just to see Shawn Michaels look violent, throwing the ladder on Razor Ramon's back, and Razor just selling the shit out of it, man. You know, and Razor Ramon, vice versa, throw him in Shawn Michaels to that ladder, just a crash pad.
And we all know how Shawn can sell.
Yes, yes.
He might just
elevates.
oversell things a little bit every now and then.
Every now and then, depends.
Oh yeah, bro.
Loved every moment of it.
He likes, brother.
Me too.
Me too. Likes, brother.
That's one of my favorite match ever.
I mean, honestly,
Really,
I know
really,
it's
really.
a little off topic, but I gotta say, I would rather you oversell than no sell any day.
Yeah.
Unless you're big,
yes.
you know, if you're a big, you know, huge motherfucker and you're fighting a regular size guy, okay, no sell. But I would rather see you oversell than no sell if I had the option. So
Yeah,
Shawn,
Shawn, thumbs up. Razor Ramon, hell yeah, bad guy, you know, coming through the ladder, you know, doing that. I remember that moment. Yes, WrestleMania 10. Hey.
as soon as he mentioned Razor, I dropped my toothpick. Damn it.
Oh no.
How cute.
Oh shit! No, that was definitely an iconic match. And if you disagree, leave us your address so Wendy can show up and give you a dick punch. Now we're gonna move because I feel like she was gonna say that and she stopped short, so I had to come through.
Thank you for completing my thought. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. We've shared a brain for 100 episodes.
do.
Why stop now?
Exactly.
All right, let's get to this next match, folks. This one's got me pumped. Let's hit it. Let's do this. Let's go.
Nice there.
Oh.
Oh,
I can't even look at the picture and
no
not
question.
get emotional.
Oh, yes.
Hell in a Cell, 98.
Oh, yes.
Mankind versus The Undertaker.
Jim Ross intensifies.
Jim, yeah. Like
killed him.
Like
Killed his dad.
that's that meme. That's that meme.
Ross
Nobody.
on steroids.
Jim Ross. Oh my God, he's broken in half. I can see it. I can
Jim
feel
Ross
it.
on caffeine
I can
stress.
feel it right now. I can hear JR. I can see Mick Foley. I can feel like, oh shit, is Mick all right?
You feel the pain.
Let's flip back to Devin because otherwise I'm gonna run my mouth. And we all know I can do that. So let's flip back to Devin and let's let him start this off. Do you consider the Hell in a Cell match from 98 between these two iconic?
Hell the fuck yes. Like this was like me getting a first-hand experience of how violent the WWE can get. I didn't think that it can get any violent, you know, than some forehead cutting blood and all that shit, but then I'm seeing Mick Foley, who just completely just collapsed through a damn off the top of the fence and just free falls, and like I remember the legs just going limp and just seeing like, oh my God,
and that table exploding when he hit it, like it didn't just break, it just boom.
Yes,
I don't even need to watch the highlight reel on
that
this.
was like Wendy said, that was my Britt Baker before Britt Baker because he hit that table and I was like,
I threw up a little bit in my mouth when that happened. I was like, oh. Fuck.
I remember when they strapped him to the stretcher and just him getting up and climbing that fence.
And how many of us were going,
no,
Mick, no.
What are you doing?
No, it's over.
Right?
Go home.
I was like, no, this is too much. I was
family,
like, yes,
go home.
It's over. Undertaker got you, bro. He won. It's over. But he climbed the top of the fence and they was fighting some more. It was yes, hands down.
And then like
I can't talk about this match enough. I don't know how many times I watched this.
I know.
Match.
I gotta stop. Stop.
Yeah, but it's iconic match. Okay. Iconic moments throughout this match.
Okay.
But yes,
hands down.
Definitely.
Hafeez, please.
Yeah, this is an
Follow up your
iconic
boy.
match. It's an iconic match. It's I love Mankind. I love Mick Foley,
too.
Cactus Jack,
love
every
both of
persona
them.
he's ever had. Yeah. Undertaker, just amazing, just in every way. Just, you know, his dedication to his craft, his character work, everything is always great. And in this match, it just all came together in just such a crazy way. And I feel like this is one of those matches for me that over time it's gotten more iconic, because hearing the behind the scenes stories of like, he was not supposed to go through that, the cell. Like that wasn't supposed to happen.
That wasn't supposed to happen
Some of the
at all.
dialogue that was going on between them during the matchup.
Have you guys ever watched that special that Mick Foley did where he did like a one-man stand-up on the 20-year anniversary? If you haven't, you need to go find it. It used to be on the WWE network. I'm not sure if they moved it to Peacock yet, but find it is amazing, because like he does joke about it a little bit, but then he gets really serious, and it just, when you see him going through the emotions talking about it in the aftermath,
actually
you're like, oh
there's
my
an
god.
audio documentary of that match in WWE. One of
Oh,
the
yeah.
Untolds.
Yeah.
One of the Untolds is especially.
But this
for
is
that
literally
match.
like Mankind doing a one-man almost stand. Or I mean, Mick
Yeah,
Foley
no,
doing
there's
a one-man
it's a
almost
stand-up
stand-up
show.
thing about the build
Yeah.
to it during and after, and the way he jokes about it, and then gets serious and damn near goes to tears, and then makes you laugh 10 minutes later. You're like, holy shit, Mick, stop! It's so good. If you haven't seen it, you've got to see it. But
Yeah. No, just such an amazing match. And you know, we talked about earlier, Undertaker usually, you know, he had this stretch of matches at WrestleManias where you put a guy up against Undertaker at WrestleMania and it's going to be an epic, iconic matchup. And I feel like, you know, as a side too for Mick, he had kind of a stretch too where he would have these street fights with people one after another that it was like, holy shit, like
it
this
just
is
intensified every time.
Yeah, and just like changed people's character and just made them like I wrote in.
He was kind of like the Fiend, you know,
yeah,
like
a little
like
bit. Yeah, a little bit.
You get
Yeah,
these hardcore matches with you,
yeah.
and he changed you whether you want or not.
Rumble 2000 with Triple H,
Yes.
you know, the
Yes.
street fight with Randy Orton, you know, like matches like that where I'm just like, holy fuck, like just with Edge at WrestleMania. Yeah, like
the
just
flaming table.
amazing.
Jesus.
So, and then anytime these two guys got together, it was just
Yes.
going to be an iconic moment. So
Yes.
yeah, definitely iconic match.
Okay, Grandma, do you agree with Devin and Hafeez?
Hands down, yeah. This is such an iconic match. To call it anything less is an absolute sin. I mean, even the Taker himself in the middle of his match was having oh shit moments, like oh shit, I just did that, you know. Mankind was like, oh shit, that just happened. If you're in that moment saying oh shit and you are creating that moment, it's iconic.
Yeah,
hands down, no argument.
Absolutely. Okay, Gonzalo, I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with this one, but end the suspense for me.
Oh, okay.
He almost had me for a minute, y'all.
No, man.
This man has learned under the psycho tree. I'm not gonna lie. He went
Don't
entitled,
play my-
he's swerving people, he's cutting promos. Psycho tree. That's all you need.
Don't play mind games with your brother of destruction, first and foremost.
No, never that. Never that.
So I think this match marks an era on the Hell in a Cell matches, even when it's the second one. But I think Mick, especially, he brought to the ring something. He wanted to prove something, and I think we all realize how that he sacrificed himself because he knew that maybe he's not an athletic wrestler, he's not a technical wrestler, or sort of. So what he did the best he can do, that is sacrifice himself. And I remember actually I don't know who said in an interview that on backstage he was asking to one of the producers, hey, how I did the match, bleeding and all that stuff. It was, man, go to the hospital. Go to the hospital, please. Then we talk about the match, man.
Right? If you watch that special I was talking about, he tells you it right then and there. He's like, I don't really remember anything. I don't remember walking back. I don't remember talking to anyone. I don't even remember running out in the main event because they made him do it anyway, if you recall. I know everybody remembers that, but he ran out in the Kane and Stone Cold main event for the title, and it wasn't exactly a run, but like he was gone, man. He was just
And I
gone,
think-
and they were like, "Go anyway."
Something that we don't not talk too much about all the rest of the matches is something that I joke at first, but man, it's real. The work that JR did for this
Yes.
match. I think he played that big role of a commentator, of giving us the passion of this
How
match
he
and
made the
how.
moment.
Man, I think he played a big role. It's like a triple threat match. Jim Ross, Mankind, and the Undertaker. he was the third partner for this perfect
Well,
for
I mean,
this
like,
moment.
he had known Mick for quite some time, like all the way back to the WCW days. So to see him have this happen and then just lay there motionless, it was real to JR. Damn it! Like he was just. He was in that moment in his feels, and you could tell.
He made me believe in that moment that, man, this was done for him. But then he's standing up again and he's fighting again, and then he falls again. Damn, give this man a break. But no,
end the match.
just call it. Just
be okay with that. Just it's all right.
They're like, you know what? We who the hell's gonna ever end a Hell in a Cell in a DQ or no contest? We didn't know what was coming years later.
But that's
actually,
though, honestly, seeing it when he went through the ceiling, I said, if they stopped you right there,
we're good.
People thought, is he out? Is he dead?
He went through there. Yeah, his
because,
legs just going.
If you remember, they brought everybody in the cell, and Terry Funk ran out.
Yeah,
and you saw him leaning over Mick Foley, and Mick asked Terry, "What were you doing when you were leaning over me?" He said, "I put a mirror under your nose to see if you were still breathing." Because the Undertaker had asked me as I walked past him, see if he's breathing. That was a shoot, y'all. Like,
and crazy. Wow.
And something extra that's, for example, Kane talked on an interview, and he said that he's mad with this match because everyone forgot he won
winning the main
event. His first world title in his career because of this match.
Nobody remember.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Like,
I think
whatever.
that it's an epic match because there was more than one epic moment. So I think this is an epic match.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just throw a few things in because I know, eventually when people are watching this, they're like, we know what you're gonna say. First, kids, I like to educate. So if you haven't seen the promos that Mick Foley used to cut as Cactus Jack on Sting, please go back. It's a clinic. He literally says stuff like, "Oh, I dreamed 753 ways to make Sting suffer, and I only thought of his legs." Like just some crazy shit that you will never like. You want to learn how to cut a promo? Go Google that. Secondly, I know there are going to be people out there that are going to say, well, this was one of those moment matches, spot matches because of the table, the cell, whatever, but the drama, the psychology, like literally thinking Mick Foley's dead. Jim Ross himself thinking Mick Foley is dead just added to that energy, turn the moments into something that became
blur the lines of
more than just iconic moments.
Match.
Exactly, it blurred all the lines.
God, he's dead.
He's
dead.
They killed him. Like it between him and the moments and the run-ins and Terry with the mirror and then getting choke slammed until and a shoe flies off. Just all of it, considering who was involved, things that happened. The fact that, as Gonzalo said, the main event is totally forgotten, even by Mick Foley, because he was not in it. He was zombie mankind running in that ring.
Man,
I'd have to call this match iconic for that. Like, it's not just moments. The match itself became iconic. Okay, so for those out there that want to argue, there's my rebuttal already before you say a word.
On that note, gentlemen, I need to tap out.
Oh no!
Because I have an early day tomorrow, so I have a long day tomorrow, and it's Friday. Can you believe that shit?
Oh,
yeah.
End of the fiscal year. I tell you what, that's some bullshit.
Okay, well, let me cut in before she goes and just say thank you, Grandma. Thank you for everything you've done for me, for Brucey, for the show, for this group, for our social media, everything. We would be nothing without you. We love you. I hope for hundreds of episodes down the road. I thank you for all this from the bottom of my heart. Please go get some rest. Don't kill yourself tomorrow because we got a show next week. Okay.
I just want to say real quick. No, it's a unbelievable 100. I can't believe we're here. It's been really awesome being a part of this, and thank you for letting me join you all on this ride. And
Pleasure's mine.
Thank you
Like,
for 100, and here's to 100 more and 100 more after that.
Love you, Grandma.
All right, boys.
Yes.
I love you all.
No, love you back, Grandma.
Devin, I'll send you about that cake so you can have some.
Oh,
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I got
Thank
you.
you.
I got you, my dude.
Appreciate
I
it.
got you.
Thank you.
She's like, right here, dude. I got
Hi,
you.
boys.
Yeah.
All right, bye one.
Night, Grandma. And now I'm the only remaining member of Top Rope on our 100th episode. Ain't this a bitch?
I gotta say one thing. I'll be able to do one more, and then I got a jet too.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose everybody.
How we looking?
Okay,
How we looking
Felipe.
on the list?
How we looking on the
Hey,
list?
but
Let me.
you know what?
We are
just in the half.
We're on 11, about to hit 12.
Why don't we just try to speed through it and see?
Yeah.
Could you do like a 30-minute, like till 10?
10.
If we
I can do
speed through
10.
it,
Oh yeah.
10.
10,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Felipe, do you agree this is iconic?
I just want to say about this match that have said before, because this is iconic. 2 years ago, Mick Foley came to a convention, like a Comic-Con Santiago.
Okay.
The first thing that everybody asked him was about the Hell in a Cell match. If that was the first thing, more iconic can be from that. I mean, what more can we say as an iconic?
Okay. All right. So to try to pick up the pace a little bit, no drum roll, no nothing. We're gonna skip ahead to the next match, number 12, which is none other than a match that Hafeez and I already brought up. The matchup in Toronto.
Man.
Supposedly Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock. Felipe, do you consider this an iconic match?
No.
Okay.
No, because I can't put this match
I hear you.
in the same list that the ones that we have picked before. I put it as a good match. It had moments, really great moments, and it's a good match. Maybe I put it up against Cena and Rock. I could say a great match with that awesome.
Keep going.
Moment. Yeah, great.
Keep going.
Great.
Yeah.
No, sir. No, actually, it would be easy. I'm the one who come into their backyard, so. No, but I stand as a man. It's a great match. I really love this match, but we're talking about iconics, and for me, there's a Hell in a Cell, a ladder match, Austin and Brad, but it's a great match. For me, it's a great match. But for me, that match should be Austin and Hogan, and not Hogan and Rock.
That is true.
Okay.
That is
I'm gonna say like the matchup was iconic. The way the twists of Hogan going face and everything else in the midst was iconic. The match itself was very good. Was not iconic. It had it was one of those moment matches in my eyes. The way things turned, the stare down, all that. But the match itself, not so much. Gonzalo.
One question. Where is Felipe? On my right or my left?
He's like above you on the basically. He's up here, as far as I can tell. They might change.
My side is over here.
Give me.
We might all be looking at something different.
Right.
Give me, Felipe.
From my perspective,
Felipe,
here.
throw me a too sweet, please.
Just too sweet to camera. There you go.
Down. Put it off. So, no, the thing is, I agree with Felipe because there's something that I always remember when I try to analyze a match, and that is I divide the things how people remember that match. What people remember most of this match is the stare down that they had at the beginning of the match, when people like then the people made I don't know, maybe the people made the heel turning that night, but the thing is, this is what people most remember. Nobody talks about the match; they remember the stare down. So for me, it's just epic moment or iconic moment, but not an iconic match. This is
Yeah,
it's
it
an
had
okay
its
match to me.
moments, but not iconic overall.
No, definitely no.
All right, Hafeez, what do you say?
I'm gonna go against the grain here with you guys. I'm sorry, but this is
Not
an
the first
iconic
time.
match for me. Yeah, it's iconic. I mean, this is kind of in the same vein as like the Andre Hogan, and you know, for me at least personally, the Rock Cena matchup, where the environment that they were in and the story going in, they kind of threw the story out. It was more about just like the fact that we had Hogan there coming in as the heel, but that crowd didn't give a shit. They didn't care. It was about Hogan, seeing Hogan again and just going nuts for him. And The Rock was, you know, yeah, you cool. We love you, Rock, but this is about Hogan's return. Just booing the shit out of The Rock. And then The Rock kind of playing into it a little bit too. Okay, you're gonna.
I mean, they both fed into it.
Yeah, like this is what we're gonna do. And then you know you had Nash and I believe Nash and all came in during that matchup at the end of the match. I should say. At the end of it,
Nash.
right?
Yep.
And that
Yep.
cemented the turn,
Hogan.
right? But overall, just my memory, the energy in that arena, just how people felt about it, you know. And I mean, Rock won in that hostile environment too. Like it's crazy that they didn't just say, "Hey, let's throw an audible," you know.
That crowd in Toronto was iconic. I'll give them that.
Yeah. So for me, I guess I'm just a sucker for stuff like that, man. Like you throw two iconic forces in an environment where the crowd is going nuts. I can only imagine what it was like to be there. So I'll call it an iconic match.
All right, Devin, what do you say?
Yeah, I'm the same thought as my tag team partner on this one. I feel it's iconic as well. I want to believe that the story behind is that the way that Hulk turned, it was organic. It wasn't supposed to happen. He was supposed to go a little bit longer.
It was all on the
as
fly.
a heel, right?
But like The Rock all of a sudden turned heel,
like,
and Hogan all of a sudden turned face because the crowd reacted that way.
Yeah. Like I remember
actually,
that.
Devin, Actually, Devin, and the Hogan book, they talk about. He wrote about this match. I guess he wrote, but he talked about that. The plan A was he was gonna go out at that WrestleMania in red and yellow. He returned to his house, grabbed the red and yellow, and when he returned to Toronto, say, okay, new plan. We're gonna stick it with the Hollywood and the NWO. But there was a plan that they will put it Hogan in that match against The Rock with the red and yellow.
Yeah.
They were teasing about the crowd.
Well, it was just another example where a crowd would just dictate where this story is gonna go.
Right.
And it's beautiful when it happens. And those are, I gotta say,
that is a cool moment.
Those are our iconic moments and iconic matches that it happens, man, when a crowd can just dictate a story. And I like that part. And to your point, you know, Felipe, like, yeah, Stone Cold should have had this moment. So just me,
absolutely,
just me being,
that was the man,
bro. Right. The way he led, like, yeah, you had The Rock at equal, but Austin, he led the Attitude Era right there.
Absolutely,
the true leader of the Attitude Era.
Yeah, he was. So he should have had that moment, man. You know,
he should have.
No,
I agree with that too. Like Felipe nailed it on that. And
but
I'll wrap it up with
that match was good though.
I want to wrap it up with two things. I'm not shocked that the Clark Street guys are unified because obviously they've been doing this twice as long as we have. But I am shocked that Hulk Hogan could write. Is that surprising to anybody else? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. He can barely act. He's gonna write.
Yeah,
he can barely wrestle. He's gonna write.
Everyone gets one.
That's what
Everyone gets one.
All
right, let's move on to the
biography.
Let's try for the sake of keeping people around. Let's move on to the next match and wow.
But actually, where we're gonna put that match?
I think we settled on like
not
great.
Unanimous, iconic.
I think we had like three people who said, you know, great moment, not iconic. So I'm gonna lean towards great, and then we're gonna move on to this.
Holy
gem.
shit!
boyhood dream came true. The
Yeah.
Iron Man match between Bret the Hitman Hart
God.
and HBK for the WWE title.
This match.
And I feel like I could wrap this up really easy. Raise your hand if you think it's iconic.
Oh, Felipe. I'm
wait,
gonna say he didn't hear it. He didn't hear
Unanimous.
it. There's no way.
This match, you know,
And that's the
I'm doing
bottom
the
line.
Wendy job. I'm doing the Wendy job. Okay.
he's watching the
You know
highlight
what?
reel.
The
is what he's
highlights.
doing.
You
This
also
match
iconic.
was amazing. This may be the most iconic match in WWE history. I'm going to take a step out there and I'm going to say it because it was
This is
two of
number
the
one.
best,
Yeah.
two of the best on their way up
Yeah.
in their respective primes, meeting in an Iron Man match, no less, which, by the way, ended in a draw and needed overtime, only to have Shawn Michaels holding that WWE title, an emotional wreck, and just feeding more fuel to the iconic flame. Just here you go.
It's crazy because the WWE, they tried to do this is the greatest match ever with Edge and Randy Orton, and tried to do all the fake hoopla with that.
That's why I said fuck out of here. That was my first example.
Fuck that. Yeah, exactly. This right here, is where that shit for me is earned. When you just put these two technical wrestlers who are just amazing at their craft at the top of their game against each other, championship on the line,
Right.
Iron Man match.
When you look
knock
at
it out the park.
When you look at these two,
That's it
there
for me.
are. It's hard to say there were few, if any, better in the ring, better on a mic,
Yeah.
better overall.
Yep.
And to put them together like this in this match, I mean, yeah, obviously we had the screw job later, and that was just sucked. And personally, I still think Bret called a raw deal to this day. But this is an iconic match, no matter how you slice it.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how. Like I said, maybe number one all time, at least in my opinion. Anybody else got
For
anything?
me,
to
it's like for me, it's like the ladder match. This match influences a lot of wrestlers, and this match alone has a lot of how do you say slaves. You can see this match in many different ways. The way
Right.
how they were doing the first half of the match, the last 10 minutes of the match. You can have like 3 different matches in the same match
Mhm.
with the technical of Bret Hart, the Mexican style of Shawn Michaels, the looking for the shelter, the switching music outside. I mean, there's every part of that match is also a piece of art, but I also understand why there could be people, and I know people that don't like this match at all. But for that time, when WCW was doing Hogan and Savage against the Dungeon of Doom, WWE is putting the Iron Man match of Bret and Shawn. So it's really important for the WWE. Even then, few months before that match, they start to us against WCW. This match put a standard of the kind of main event WWE wanted, with HBK and Bret Hart as the main guys and the face of that company that years. So this is iconic, no matter.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah,
Absolutely.
man.
Now, obviously, I can see what's coming next. So this might not be as iconic, but is it? And that would be who? Is that Sasha Bailey won?
Hey.
This is Sacha versus Bailey in Brooklyn NXT Takeover.
Takeover, yes. For
And
NXT
that
Women's
is
Championship.
on my list.
That's
so
on mine.
happily.
That's on mine.
Okay,
That's
we
on
got two
mine.
iconics.
It's iconic.
We
For
got
me,
these,
it's
Yup,
these
iconic.
guys
iconic,
might
yup.
as well. I know they're gone, but these guys might as well be Billy Kay and Peyton Royce because they're just like
Iconic.
keeping that shit alive. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh,
Keeping it
man.
alive till July when they come back. Anyway, that's one, man. It's tough for me because
It's
like I
hard
want to say
for
that
me.
it is, but like I don't even know if it's the most iconic Sasha versus Bailey matchup. Like, oh, like,
It is
like
for
they've
me.
had so many
Man,
wars,
they
and
did.
when you think on them, you think of. I think you may think of other matches before this one.
I could say that this is the most iconic match one of the most iconic match of NXT history.
Mm,
But
that I
don't
completely
know.
agree to. NXT
I
history
don't
is
know
one of the
if
most iconic.
maybe it's important for the fact that this is a
It is
match.
interesting, though.
This is a match that the females stole the show, and
It really
this
was,
is
though.
like the sparkle that came out with the entire.
This was kind of the spark that led
Yeah,
to
but
the
they knocked that
women's
out of the park, though,
revolution.
bro.
you
Yeah.
know?
It's like
Yeah.
I
They
get it.
did.
Like
No,
it
they
was
did.
two women, but
I'm
it was
not-
two women that
Yeah.
just didn't do it well. They did exceptionally well.
Yeah,
They
that's what I
told a
mean.
beautiful
This
story.
match kind of like sparked the women's revolution.
The women's
evolution, whatever
revolution
you
kind
want.
of was
Whatever you
birthed
wanna call
here
it.
with
Yes.
this
Like
match.
But
this
the thing,
match.
but actually, this match
Explosion.
put on big stage something that we follow NXT
So
knew before. We knew the talent of Sacha and Bailey. We knew that all that story behind with
right.
Bailey, with Becky and Charlotte, that they were on the front line, the front row. So, but I don't know if this is.
I know.
iconic.
I'm on the
I
fence with
put
it
it
too.
because
I want to say
I
it's
don't know
2-2
if
right
there's
now and put it
another
on
female.
Gonzalo, but then I'm afraid I'm gonna put too much pressure on the guy because he's going. You know. You want to try and break this tie for us, Gonzalo?
First and foremost, I have to say that these two girls have a good chemistry, especially, of course, on NXT.
Absolutely.
I like how they represent somehow, some way, Eddie and all the stuff. But I don't know if this is iconic, especially because I think, especially lately, we have some good NXT matches after the release of this book. So, but if we saw from 2016 to the back, I think this is one of those matches that marked the NXT era.
Yeah.
And I put NXT on the line. Actually, I'm gonna say something. I was the only one who voted on this match, but it was Cesaro versus Sami Zayn that was on the list.
Oh yeah,
But
I
I'm not
love that
ashamed
match
to say
too.
it.
I
I'm
love
not
that match
ashamed to
too.
say that I voted that
It was a
match.
damn good match.
Yeah,
It was a good one. So I cannot say that it was an iconic match, but it was a great one.
It was
Sasha
great.
versus Bayley.
It led
Great,
to so much.
great one.
For me,
But
it's a great match.
I think it killed
Because
the divas side of
Yes.
wrestling
Yes.
and
you will
became it
always
was just
love it
like
for that.
women's wrestling now, women's wrestling championship. Like it just
Mhm.
made women's wrestling. You had higher expectations now from that matchup going forward for the women.
Definitely.
You know, it kind of just
Absolutely.
changed the whole.
You saw the writing
game.
on the wall, and you started to realize like women's wrestling is going places
Yeah.
in WWE. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna have a huge change in the near future, and we did, and it was great. Because I've said many a times on this show through 100 episodes, like I'm probably more into women's wrestling than I am men most of the time. Like when they said Bianca and Sasha were gonna, main
Yeah.
event WrestleMania night one, I was like, I'm all in. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like I was totally hyped.
For me, not looking in a bad way the takeovers, but if this match could have happened in a WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, or SummerSlam,
It would be
Survivor
iconic.
Series, it
Like,
could
no
be
doubt.
iconic. But it was happening.
It's a great
in
match.
Takeover, and
Wonderful
actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Gonzalo, but after because that was Takeover Brooklyn, the next night was SummerSlam, and Sacha was booked on that show.
I believe it.
She
That
was
was
part
the
of Team
time-
Bad.
Team Bad.
Yeah, she was part of Team
yeah.
Bad the
Team
next night.
That was before they put Charlotte, Becky, and Sacha in the main roster. This,
Right.
meanwhile, Sacha was the NXT champion.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great match. It led to a great many things. I'm just
I
not,
put it on great match.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna leave it as a great match because it certainly was, and it led to so much. This one
But we are going deep. That's why
we are
we're
definitely
talking about a
definitely
match
get
that
deep.
has to be in the same line that Bret Austin, Taker Mankind.
Very true. Would it be in the same? Would it be in the same level with these two?
Oh.
Is this the first meeting of the
WrestleMania
of the
5,
Mega Powers?
WrestleMania 5, WrestleMania 5, Macho Man defending against Hulk Hogan.
Is this after you got that lust in your eyes, brother? Like the woman that blew apart the Mega Powers, man. Rest in peace, Miss Elizabeth and Randy. Man,
this is good.
It's very
not
good.
Great because
I was gonna say,
for me, Hulkamania was running wild on that. This
Again,
time, they tried with Macho Man, but they had to.
Again, not
they wanted to do this match from WrestleMania 4. They knew that WrestleMania 5 was Savage and Hogan.
Right.
And they built it wonderful.
There's two things.
And the match was good, but I don't know if I.
There's two things. Not being a Hogan guy, having my first main event at house show when I was like 5, be Randy Savage versus the $1 Million Man. I became huge marks of both. Like they had an iconic match that night that nobody outside of that building saw, and it hooked me on wrestling for life. So Macho Man losing just made me like, meh, fuck this shit. And overall, match was very good. Definitely belonged on the list. But it's another one of those matches where I feel like the build was more iconic than the actual match itself. So I would say it's good, but I can't call it iconic.
Over time, it's just kind of gotten lower for me, and really, it's I'm
like
just not as big
back
of a
then,
Hogan fan. Like I'm just
back
not,
then it was iconic.
Macho Man, still in my mind, like his wrestling was great, and I mean, I don't know if him and Steamboat is going to end up on the list, but
I hope so.
I hope so.
I'm just saying.
It's on my list.
That right there.
It's on the top of the list.
We have 6 matches left, and it better be on. I know I voted for it, so it better be on. I know. I shouldn't, but I'm spoiling it. I voted for that shit. It better be on there. Anyway. Yeah, I feel like it might have been iconic in the moment, but did it stand the test of time? Probably not really. No, not really. And when you really look back on it, like as a kid, growing up as a kid back then, like it was cool. But then when I look back on it, because I did go back and watch this match, and I was like, man, this ain't that good, y'all. Like Randy was great, but just overall, the match just felt kind of, I don't know, like herky jerk, like. I don't want to blame Hogan, but if you kind of thought I'm blaming Hogan, I couldn't tell you that you're wrong.
One can say Randy was carrying that match.
Yeah. Randy had a very, very severe back injury because he was carrying a 325-pound man on his back the entire fucking time. Like, this is not. Sorry, I'm gonna say it. This is not Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Randy Savage. Not even close.
Yeah.
Not even.
Bro.
Okay, so we all agree that the Mega Powers matchup is not iconic. It's like good at best.
At best.
Okay, I'm making note of that since Wendy is no longer with us. I'm making notes on my phone because I don't have spreadsheets and shit. Again, don't know how to do that.
I'm doing it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure somebody was doing it.
No. I got it all.
Teamwork, baby. Teamwork makes that dream work. All right, next match. Oh.
No, we're getting the whole.
Here we go. Here we go.
JPEG 15.
15. Okay.
Spoilers.
We're getting there. Is this the Intercontinental title match between Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect?
I can see it, but yes, it was.
No, it's John Cena because we can see it actually.
What, you can't see that?
We couldn't see it. We couldn't see the picture.
Hang on. Again, technical difficulties. I love technology.
Now, this is an epic moment.
John Cena versus the Invisible Man.
Yeah, John Cena show. Can y'all see it now?
There we go.
Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam 91.
I was about to say, this is SummerSlam, right?
This is when Mr. Perfect was defending the Intercontinental title against Bret Hart, right?
Against Bret Hart.
Yeah, like Bret was just starting that little solo push after the Hart Foundation and things, and got this match with Mr. Perfect, who honestly, maybe it's just me, but I don't think Kurt Hennig gets enough credit for what he actually was as a wrestler in WWE the whole night. Like, he's one of those guys that I look at, I'm like, how is he not WWE champion? Like, how the fuck did that happen? So do we
got the Roddy Piper treatment?
Yeah, that's true. He got like that rowdy. He got that Rowdy Piper, Jake the Snake, whatever you want to call it, treatment. Like, yeah, Hall of Famer, but
William
you're never
Regal.
touching this. Well, okay, William Regal, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Like,
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Respect.
That man's not just an amazing general manager. That man was a ring technician.
Yes, he was.
And a wonderful guy.
And now he's got a Samoan submission machine watching his damn back. That's respect. But anyway, I digress. So, do we consider this match iconic? Because I damn sure do.
It's iconic. It's one of the most iconic match of Bret Hart. But I don't know if it's a WWE iconic match. It's a really good match, but I think
is it one of WWE's iconic matches?
Yeah, I think it's a really good match, but it's not.
Even I'm admitting it's a thin line. Like, I call it iconic, but it's more of an iconic wrestling match and not exactly a WWE.
Like an iconic
WWE type match with, you know.
It's a great match. It's a great match.
Because obviously we knew Mr. Perfect and what he was capable of at that point. I mean, he was killing it. And then Bret was coming out of a tag team and out on his own and started to work his way up to that upper echelon level, but he wasn't there yet. Right. So while it was the match itself had all the technical ability, like Hafeez was saying, I don't know if it was
Mr. Perfect was clean, bro.
That motherfucker was.
He was smooth, like
Mr. Perfect was cleaner than Creature's sheets, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. Like Mr. Perfect was cleaner than a virgin's underwear. Like, no lie. he man, that guy is an icon in itself. But I do. I consider it an iconic wrestling match, but I don't know if I consider it an iconic WWE match. If that makes any sense.
Not for me.
It's like when you think about Mr. Perfect, you remember this match. When you talk about the greatest match of Bret Hart, you think about.
We've already brought up several, and this one's nowhere near it.
No. This one was on my list.
Gonzalo, I don't know if you have it in front of you anymore, but can you tell us how many people actually voted for this match to get it on the list?
To be exactly, there were 3 people who voted.
Okay, so less than half.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me either.
It wasn't me, Austin. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me all along.
We're all like,
but then again, I understand why this match is in this list.
Going back and throwing music in it, we're all playing the Shaggy defense. We're sitting here like, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
But I saw you vote for it. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
I even caught you on camera voting. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Were you gonna believe me or your lying ass eyes? That's all I'm saying. No, it really wasn't me though. No lie. Like I would say, you know, it was an iconic technical match, but maybe not for WWE. At least not at the time.
In great match.
Yeah, great match. Absolutely, you could put it in great match. If we had a spot for iconic technical matches, I'd throw it in there, but we don't. So throw it in great, and we will move on to the next one, which is none other than this. I was hoping.
Yes!
You know I voted for this shit, people. I was in the
Iconic
crowd. That might be me in the
Iconic
that might be me in the balcony right there in the red shirt. I'm not
I wish I was there for that shit. Oh man.
I was.
Rewatched it too.
No lie, I was in the Hammerstein ballroom for that, and my fucking god, like I'm sorry, what we said, this might have been the most hostile environment of John Cena's career, because literally I'm in the parking lot before the show and people are talking about how many different ways they're gonna murder John Cena if he walks out with his belt tonight. and Hundo P son, as Wendy says, I was one of them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Rob Van Dam, but it had nothing to do with my love for Van Dam. It had my love to do with a certain promotion. So you had to lose. There was no other way about it.
Even the beginning with him trying to throw the T-shirt out into the crowd and they keep throwing it back.
Throwing it back at him.
God.
And there was no "Let's go Cena" in that crowd.
No.
If you heard
Cena.
I don't know.
Cena, fuck you, Cena, fuck you,
One of-
Cena. I said, what is happening?
Fuck you, Cena. Cena sucks. Fuck you, Cena. Cena sucks. I was chanting
remember-
both the whole match.
Oh man,
I remember
that
one
crowd
of
was
the
rough.
They didn't
one
edit
of
it on Peacock either.
Like,
They
fuck
didn't edit it. They
you,
left
you
it in. I
can't
was like,
see,
yes.
fuck, you can't see John Cena. We see you. We don't like you. You better lay down. That was all that crowd was sending out that night. It was intense, y'all. You could
Loved it.
like you could feel the hate flowing. It,
Yeah.
like
Props to
I was
Cena,
just
too.
I wanted to look off in the, at the top of the ramp, but just see Chancellor Palpatine, road, just let the hate
Pulling the
flow.
strings, like, yes, good.
Unlimited power. That motherfucker would have took over the whole world that night. Nothing against CM Punk and John Cena. I'm sure that was intense too. But the feeling there was just like, oh my god,
Being
this
that
better end.
Punk and
The way it's
Cena-
gonna end, because even I'm not gonna get out of the
Yeah.
building alive.
it was amazingly watching, because I rewatched this match. Amazingly, I'm like, man, this intensity, like you could feel that through the screen, and they were so close to them too. Like really, like you could touch the wrestlers.
Yes.
A couple times they were like shoving wrestlers in other matches, like Randy Orton.
was
had to
like-
turn around
Randy
and
Orton's
go,
getting
I will fuck
shoved.
you up.
Honestly, y'all, I've been to many of their
That place.
venues. That was an ECW tradition. You could touch the wrestlers, you could bring things, you could hand them to the wrestler to clock somebody with it. Could be frying pans, could be crutches, could be canes, could be whatever.
I give
Just
up
bring
to
it
y'all on that
and
one.
literally hold it out like this, and somebody grab it and just break it over someone's head. And you're like, "Fuck yeah, he took my shit." That was.
Intense.
But that was just what ECW was about. So when they went back to that format, I thought, oh shit, Cena's gonna die tonight. Like if you can touch him, you can kill him. Cena's gonna die. Like
I remember a few things. First, I want to say something. On the previous year, on ECW One Night Stand 2005, one of my favorite moments of that night, and I consider
I think I
an
know where
epic
you're
end-
going with this.
as a metal fan, the Enter Sandman to me was still on my
Yes.
mind every time I can.
Yes.
I had to
The
say,
greatest
But one of my
entrance in the
favorite
history of
moments
pro
from that
wrestling.
night was RVD cutting that promo because he was injured and he
Oh,
couldn't compete. And he was like, for the all that stuff about for the last year, all I've been able to say is, dude, that's cool, and blah blah blah. And he just cut Vince McMahon up on a mic on a WWE pay-per-view because it wasn't technically a WWE
Yeah.
pay-per-view.
so I just want to say that one of the chants that I always remember of this match between Cena and Rob Van Dam is same old shit.
Yeah.
When Cena started to do his moveset,
Yeah, his 5 moves of doom.
same old shit. It was
Same
like-
old shit.
there-
Same old shit.
and that was awesome. I had to say.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
It was
You're not a
ridiculous.
wrestler.
That's why I agree with
Forget
Paul.
Edge. Do not forget Edge.
Edge, yeah.
I'll go get
Thank
into
you,
that.
Edge.
But I was
Thank
gonna
you,
say
Edge.
that's why I know I'm biased, but I always agree with Paul Heyman when he said ECW fans should be in every wrestling Hall of Fame. All of them. WWE, all of them. If you got a Hall of Fame somewhere, ECW fans need to be in it because they
Facts.
made their energy, their whatever, made a show, made a match. And that night, I mean, beyond. And Edge probably became my favorite wrestler of all time that night when he came out and he had the old, because they did this in ECW too. They'd have someone come out in like the riot gear, then attack, and Edge pulled it off beautifully. It rips the helmet off, and there he is, long hair, big teeth, and all. And I was like, "You're the man! I'm not worthy. Thank you, Edge. Thank you." Because it almost looked like Cena was going to win, and all of a sudden here's Edge, and you're like, "Oh." My new favorite person. I'm gonna live tonight because of you. Thank you, Edge.
Man.
Like, no, I'm with you guys. Don't hurt me. I don't want Cena to win either. Fuck him.
And that was awesome because on that night, Edge was booed, of course, because he was part of the WWE. And then he was suddenly loved by everyone.
But
Just because of
is
that.
is it any shock that I consider this match iconic? Honestly, did you have to ask? Like put it on the list as far as I'm concerned.
Automatic.
It had
Automatic bid.
Yeah,
everything.
it's automatic. Yeah.
It had everything.
But
It's
not-
immediately
but not
onto the
unanimous,
iconic list.
because I love this match, but like I said before, this is like an ECW iconic moment match. It,
No, this is an
I can
ECW
relate this
WWE
match.
moment.
I
No
can relate
ECW
this
moment
match.
is gonna have John Cena and Edge up in it. Okay.
I don't know, but I
Only
can
in
relate.
WWE is that gonna happen.
I can.
Trust me.
I just can't. I just can't think about this match thinking, oh, this is a good WWE match. It's like it's in a
Besides,
complete different Iceland.
You can talk about it.
This match.
You talk about however you want, but if it were for ECW, there's no Attitude Era. Guess where
No,
Stone Cold came
absolutely.
from? I'm gonna be real with y'all. Guess where Stone Cold shaved his head and started cutting them promos? Right there in the bingo hall.
Stunning Steve Austin.
He wasn't Stunning Steve no more. He was cutting promos. He was the one doing the original Hulk Hogan disc promo long before Shawn Michaels. So, and this was all in a bingo hall. So you can say like, oh, it was an ECW moment, but really ECW and WWE, that line blurred as soon as people caught wind of it in WWE and went, wait, we could do that too.
But it's not the match but this is not the match that I think when I think about WWE. That's the thing for me. This match is great. The atmosphere is awesome, but I don't know if I put this match with all the drama, all the hype, all the Hamster Ballroom. Like I can compare this match with I don't know, Taker Mankind. I still thinking about what we previously choose because that's my mind. I love this match. I really
like
Even
when you
CM
said
Punk Cena, I feel like this is very similar to that match.
It's a wee similar, but it's also at the same time very different. You know what I'm saying? The only part that disappointed me was after the fact, because obviously, you know, Rob's got the WWE title, and the next time ECW comes on the network, I guess it was on Sci-Fi back then.
Sci-Fi and Tuesday nights.
Paul Heyman presents him with the ECW title, and here I am thinking, man, WWE is going to do this like franchise Shane Douglas moment where he looks at this belt and he looks at the spinner title, which was fucking awful, by the way, and just throws that shit down and puts the ECW title on his shoulder, and you're like, oh shit, we're alive again. And Rob just went and grabbed the microphone and said, I'll keep this one too. It spins. It's like, fucking for real? No. That's I don't care where you say ECW went wrong, like everything went wrong, but that was the first time they fucked up, and it would just snowball from there.
the first match of the ECW and Sci-Fi, the first match after Cena and Rob Van Dam at ECW was the Sandman against the Zombie.
The Zombie. Yep. Which again, WWE would break back out all these years later for the Miz, and
but then again, well, that's my.
But that's okay. So as far as I know, I said it was iconic. Devin said it was iconic. Felipe says no. Hafeez says iconic. So immediately it's iconic. But what is Gonzalo? You think this is where you at with this?
I gotta go with you guys. This is iconic.
Oh, see, Felipe might as well be in there. Felipe might as well be John Cena in that Hammerstein ballroom, man. He's all by himself.
Oh man,
sorry, bro.
All right, so add that to the iconic list, and we're gonna move on to another match. Oh wow.
So real quick too, before we move on. So I know it's 10:08. I know Devin was saying he was gonna tap out. I probably got another 30 minutes myself because I do.
I mean, we're down to, let's see,
we're almost there though.
Final four, the wild cards, but
I'm gonna tap out right here, fellas.
The wild card could be really fast. It's just
wild
to show
card.
what everybody shows. Hogan Warrior. Whoa. Yeah, no, this is easy. This is iconic.
Yeah, I'd probably say no.
Go to the next one.
Yeah, I would say go to the next. Yeah, we can just roll through those. Honestly, I'm out.
I'm gonna pull up the next one. Hang on, guys. It just takes 1 second here, and where'd you go? There it is. Oh.
Fortune, fame, mirror, bane.
Sorry, guys.
This
is my favorite match of. This is one Hell in a Cell and
that's the Hell in a Cell.
Undertaker.
Okay, yeah, it's the Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels.
Mania, Shawn Michaels, special referee.
Iconic.
Iconic. Yep.
Iconic.
iconic, 100%.
It was the true end of it, of the last of the era. Iconic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you
Okay,
call it
with
iconic.
Metallica,
for me,
man.
for me,
Super
for me,
kick in
it's
the-
not iconic. And I'm saying this about one of
You
my
love being
favorite
on your
match
own
of
and dragging
all
this out,
time.
don't you?
No, I'm trying to be. I
Say
try
it's
to be
iconic,
fair. I try to be fair. I
Agree
love
with
this
us.
match. This is one of my favorite match of all times.
Yeah.
Of all times.
I love it.
But I can forget that we have another Hell in a Cell match, and there is no way that the Taker Mankind Hell in a Cell match is in the same. I mean, the Taker Triple H match is nowhere better than the
story. The
Mankind.
story was so emotional.
Yeah.
Like
It's amazing. It's
in the
It really
amazing. But
was.
it was supposed to be Undertaker's
in the
last,
importance,
but it was Triple
Yeah.
H, and
It was supposed to be Undertaker's last ride.
Yeah.
Triple H had
And
and that
fucking
was
three
full
guys
time.
on
They were
stage.
done. Yeah, end of an
and
era.
Undertaker cut his hair in that vignette and all that stuff. And,
Yeah. Oh
and-
man.
I love this match
man,
from beginning
was
to
respect.
the end.
that's all I can
respect
say.
it. I respect. I respect what
That
you
switchy
Yeah.
music, then followed by the pedigree.
pedigree.
And
Yeah.
one,
I thought it was
two,
over.
And he
That-
still
and
kicked
Sean's
out.
face
That was
in the
any
corner.
moment. If that
In the
was
corner.
any moment
That-
that you can
for me,
believe the
it's
streak was
the
going to be
moment.
over, that
Alright.
was it right
Yes,
there.
Devin, yes.
Now, that one was iconic. I think we're going to consider this one too.
Let's see.
TLC.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
iconic.
yeah.
Guys,
Iconic.
guys,
Iconic.
guys, please. I gotta give you one reason why this is iconic. All of us vote for this match.
Ooh,
All-
unanimous.
It was a
Hell
unanimous
yeah.
vote.
Yes.
It's
Hell yeah.
iconic.
Iconic.
That shit. I
Iconic.
mean, I can still see Edge with that spear off the
Oh,
top of a
yeah.
ladder.
Yes.
My
oh,
God, my God, he's
my
fucking in half.
and that was like the 19th
Love it.
moment in
Love
that
it.
match because it was just insane. So yeah, I believe
I
that's
have
7
just
votes.
one question.
7 votes.
I say iconic, but because this was the only match of the three of the TLCs that were on the book. So I need to ask this question: is this TLC from WrestleMania 17 the best of the three?
I have to say
TLC
yes.
Yes.
I mean, they were
I'm
all
gonna say
great.
yes.
They were all great, but this
For
one
me, yes.
probably topped
Yes.
the other.
That was
the
the
other
Genesis.
like this one was iconic. It was amazing. It was just there were so many moments. It was so high stakes. It was it was everything that you expected it to be and more. So
For me, that trilogy, the first match is the moment when Jeff Hardy
right,
threw up
the
from
dive,
ladder. That,
table.
taking the part that those three matches are outstanding, but the first match I remember that. The second match is more forgotten, but for me,
There's another show topic
technical-wise,
right there. We're gonna pick apart the TLC matches.
The second one, of
that.
SummerSlam,
Like 1, 2,
for me,
and
is my
3.
favorite
Yeah.
because it was not on the stadium. It was on a
Be on the lookout for that, folks.
regular arena. You can see the fans.
Spoiler alert.
For me, that's forgotten, and for me, is the best. But the iconic is the TLC from WrestleMania.
Oh, thank God. I'm so glad. I'm so glad Devin didn't leave. I'm so glad he didn't leave because look what's last on the list. WrestleMania 3, baby.
Oh,
The
thank
match.
goodness.
Yeah.
Ricky the
Yes.
Dragon Steamboat
Oh,
versus Macho Man Randy
man. I
Savage
was about
for
to
the
say.
Intercontinental
I
title.
was
Yeah.
about to say.
WrestleMania 3.
Yeah.
Is this match
And that's why
iconic?
It's
I put it-
iconic. It's
Iconic.
iconic.
Give me a hell
Put it
yeah.
at the last one.
Believe it or
Yes.
not,
It is unanimous. It
I'm
is
not saying
decided.
I'm one of them, but believe it or not, you hear a lot of people in the wrestling community say this match is overrated, and I look at them like,
Oh.
I don't think they watched it. then.
fuck.
I don't
Yeah.
Like,
think
did
they
you
really
see
watched
it?
it.
Did you hear-
This match is from?
Did you hear them? Did you hear Ricky the
1987.
Dragon Steamboat break this
Still
down on the
look
Randy Savage biography that just released on A&E, where he said they went over like a meticulous group of like 160 spots over and over and over again until they knew it, and they could just literally call out a number, any number of the 160, and the other person could say what the move was going to be or what the spot was going to be or what was going to happen and everything. Like this had an iconic backstage like creation with these two. They went
man.
up to another level to put this together, and you see it when you watch this match. So I know there are people out there that say they're overrated, and you're entitled to your opinion. But I'm gonna quote Grandma Wendy: "You're wrong."
For me,
Wrong. This shit is
This
iconic.
match-
for me
This
over
match is
time,
from-
it's one of those things where I have so many matches that in my memory are more recent that I put them like as I was building this list. I'm like, man, like where do I do this cutoff? And it's tough now. So as far as favorite matches go, It didn't make my list in terms of that. It's just on the outside of it. But as far as iconic matches go, this is towards the top.
Yeah.
Like there's no more iconic two technical wrestlers for that time.
When we talked about
oh my god,
when we talked about Randy and Hogan at WrestleMania 5, in the moment it felt iconic, but it didn't really last the test of time. When you go back and watch that today, even if you watched it like I did, like when it happened, when you go back and watch it today, all these years later, you look at it and you realize it's just as good 20, 30 some years later as it was back then.
1987. And you can see that match today.
They was doing, man.
You can still find
all of them are
things. There's something fresh all the time. This is a match that the time has even came this match bigger. This match felt every time
you didn't realize,
everybody thought of this
is
match.
What Devin and I were talking
even
about.
More bigger.
When we said when people want to, ask you to refer them to a match, like if they want to be a wrestler, if they want to, this is one of those matches that you watch.
This is how you make yourself look like a star, and then you make somebody help make themselves a star as well. Process, because that's what he did for Macho Randy Savage. He made himself look good, but he makes Ricky Steamboat look like a star out there, man.
Exactly,
the super face that he is, bro.
Exactly.
This match, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Iron Man match.
Right.
I look at all those in the same vein. Davey Boy and Bret.
Absolutely.
Okay,
so we've gotten through the list. We've gotten all of those.
I think there is one missing.
What do you mean there's one missing? I went
no,
through all of them, bro. I swear.
Yeah. No,
I had that one little technical glitch, but I
Mystery
went through them all. I just meticulously clicked and shared.
Perfect. Greatest match ever, Randy Orton and Edge.
Fuck out of here! Don't make me mute. I love you. Don't make me mute.
Okay, so this is how we get it. The moment match, Hogan versus Andre. Good match. Cena and Rock and Macho Man and Hogan. Great match, Punk versus Cena, Hogan and Rock.
We got a lot of iconic
matches. Perfect. And the iconics, they are like 12. Flair versus Shawn Michaels, Rock and Austin WrestleMania.
This is not going to be an easy list for
Bret
fans.
Bulldog.
Punk Cena didn't make iconic? I thought it did.
Which one?
Punk and Cena?
Which one?
No, I think
on the great, not iconic. That was one of the first ones.
Oh, we had a majority.
And
I think we were close. Maybe it was just and then Wendy just said "fuck that," so it ended up being great.
All right.
It was so
close. Me, damn it.
You gotta love Grandma Wendy and her pettiness. It happens all the time, man. You get used to it after 100 episodes. You can't even mention CM Punk. She's like, oh, I can't mention CM Punk. I can't mention Rey Mysterio. I can't.
Damn.
She got a whole list. It's just like triggered, and you're like, oh man. So as far as wild cards go, I'm just gonna. We had to pick something out of the last 5 years, and my pick. Honestly, the first thing that came to my head, and I couldn't get anything to take it out, was I believe it was WrestleMania 35, where Daniel Bryan defended the WWE title against Kofi Kingston, because it was the only time in that 5-year period a WrestleMania became a superstar mania. It was Kofi Mania that night, and it was the culmination of the 11 years and all the beatings he was taking on the way in and everything else. And he finally got to stand there and hold that title and get all that pyro and get his family and everybody in the ring with him and everything else. That might be the most iconic moment in the last 5 years. It's WrestleMania or WWE or anything else. So Kofi Mania for me, that was my wild card.
Yeah, gosh, man. I mean, for me, I think I said mine already.
With the names, no. Dom has the pictures with the names on it.
Oh, perfect.
I do.
Just put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
All I see are 20.
Oh wait.
Okay.
I see them. Okay, and then
I cheated. I put 3 matches on there.
I put 3 matches. Okay.
All of them online.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Bruce's pick was none other than
he picked. Actually, he put 2 matches because he said any Usos versus New Day
Yeah, anything
Oh,
Usos versus
wow.
New Day in the last 5 years, and it's hard to argue that
Oh,
because they tore the fucking house down at
Yes.
every pay-per-view, and you
Yes.
kept
Two
you
special, the
had
Hell in a Cell
these
and
two.
SummerSlam matches.
These two had the kind of rematches that we've had with like Drew and take your pick, Bobby with the title now, or Randy Orton. They just have rematch after rematch after rematch, but you didn't care because every match seemed to get better as it went along, and so I kind of agree with him on that one. How do people get 2 in here? We're gonna skip.
I was saying I snuck 3 in, so you know.
Yeah, but both of Brucey's matches were New Day Usos. Let's go from Bruce to the to the tribal chief, and his pick was Seth, was that you? That was Devin's pick. Yeah,
my
Royal
pick, 2015 Royal
2015
Rumble.
Royal Rumble, Seth Rollins, Money in the Bank, all that shit. This was the, I don't know how many rematch of Lesnar and Cena after Lesnar had suplexed him like 17 times and killed him at SummerSlam, and then they had that
This
hardcore
match
match,
is
and then they came back
amazing.
with this,
This match is amazing.
yeah, this one in particular was amazing, and Seth Rollins made it that way. No lie, y'all.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rollins.
This match has been forgotten because in the same event we have the Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble. So that's why we forgot about
It gets
this
clouded by that.
match. Exactly. But it's a great,
that's
great
mine.
match.
That's mine. Obviously, I picked Kofi Mania. I mean, I can show the picture, but y'all know. So next up we have Felipe's. Okay.
This is special more in the personal way because I was there and I and I
you were
lived
here
all
for
that.
this one.
Yes, that was WrestleMania.
Let's see what we got here.
He was there for this,
Oh,
y'all.
okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That match, because everybody believed that this is the match that's gonna crown Roman Reigns and Lesnar is gonna go out to UFC. And suddenly, 2 days before WrestleMania, ESPN said that Brock Lesnar has resigned.
I remember
so
that.
This match became something special. Actually, Roman Reigns came out to the ring from right next to my seat. So I can see. Actually, you can see this flag in the TV.
Did you touch him?
Yeah.
Did you touch him?
And we all believe that Seth Rollins is gonna catch the Money in the Bank on Raw.
Don't make Devin too jealous.
He did it on
Okay.
this WrestleMania. For me, this moment is one of my favorite moments ever. That's why.
Okay. Okay. And Gonzalo. All right. Oh, this is wow. I'm not surprised per se, but it's still a good one.
Oh
yes! Oh my God! Oh,
Johnny
Gonzalo.
Wrestling versus
You know what?
Cole, baby.
I was gonna say with the Sasha and Bailey one, like, okay, NXT is in this. Like, maybe I should throw some stuff. Should have thrown some stuff in, but
I was about to say. I want to say first. I thought on John Cena versus AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. I think that was a good one.
Too.
But I think I wanted to add some NXT on this list. So I was between one of the great matches between Ciampa and Gargano, but then I said, man, Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano in this match, they almost killed each other.
Yeah,
they really did.
If you'd have put that first 2 out of 3 falls match out of there, Devin would have lost. The first.
It's a solid pick. It's definitely a solid pick.
I love it. All
right, yeah, and Hafeez has a couple, and
so I'm looking at the list again, and it's Stone Cold versus The Rock. It's 15 that's on the list. I still don't see X7. So that's my main one. I still don't see it here. I can't pick it.
Well, that was one of Hafeez's picks right there. The career versus the streak, which we talked about.
Absolutely, yes.
Audio Slave, Be Yourself is sounding out in my mind when I.
And honestly, I think no matter how you slice it, both those matches are iconic.
For
And
me,
then-
that career match is like Godfather 2 to Godfather 1.
Somehow, I don't know how y'all got 2 write-ins, but somehow Hafeez's second one
No, they put it on. So.
was this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Actually, this
Rumble
is a good
2000.
one because
Rumble
In the
2000,
books.
Cactus Jack, the many
Yes.
faces of Foley versus
Love
Triple
that.
H.
Oh.
Holy
Actually,
shit.
in the book, it was the Cactus Jack versus Triple H in Hell in a Cell, and for me, this match is way better. Than
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
they
Absolutely
done.
agreed.
So,
This is the
this
match. I
is
mean,
amazing. This is
between those two,
amazing.
this
match
is the match.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
No offense to Dean Miller or nothing, but this is the match.
This
as
was-
far as
It just
That
Foley.
it blew
was
my
the
mind
match
at that
should have
time,
been.
just
It really
seeing the
did.
violence. You know, this
And at
Yeah.
the
the way
same time,
that
like this
Cactus
is
Jack just
you know, this is-
destroyed.
This is the match that
is-
made Triple H.
you know this
Yeah,
is
that's the
Incredible.
thing.
Champion.
Exactly.
Already-
It changed the way we looked at Triple H, the way I looked at Triple H.
It definitely did. But the thing for me was like this was already a couple years after Hell in a Cell, and you see all this shit that Mick Foley is going through, and you're like, dude, when is it enough? Like just
please stop it.
like I feel for you. I'm worried
Family,
about
man.
you.
I want you to live.
Stop.
Yeah.
And he just kept going, man. That man was the hardcore Energizer Bunny. He just kept going
Seriously.
and going and going, and he'd lose more body parts, and he'd get more fucked up, and he'd get bigger, and he'd just keep going and going.
Kept sacrificing
Do
his
you
body
want to
for the
live,
love of
man?
it. You know, tell the man really loves what he does. It's just,
And-
man, yeah, it hurt me every time.
Okay, so last but certainly not
Last
least,
boys.
we have the first lady's pick, and it was, and in this match, y'all. I mean, at least for one of the competitors in it. Oh my God,
Oh wow,
The house,
China
the good
versus-
housekeeping.
Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett,
Yeah.
Jarrett.
The
J.E.
good
double
housekeeping
F.
match.
J.A.
for
double R
Intercontinental.
E double T.
This
Ain't
is a
he
good
great?
match,
Oh, but China is okay.
but this match is forgotten because in the same night we got the Hardys versus Edge and Christian in the ladder match.
I mean, I know you probably can't see it
Another
up here,
iconic
but the China
one
figure
of
is
the-
literally right there. So I did not forget this match.
But this is one of one of the most iconic China matches.
But hold up,
ever.
though. Hold up. Was this from? Did we have to go from the last 5 years, or could we go back? Because this is definitely not from the last 5 years.
No, you can.
I missed
That's
that
why
part,
we
too. I
put it
just
that
'cause
from the last 5 years.
Okay,
or
'cause
a match that is not.
That's
I
not
was
there,
I was
right.
under the impression that like the book stopped in 2016. It's 2021, so you have to pick a wild card from that time period. So that's what I picked.
I missed.
Oh
that.
yeah.
I didn't follow instructions there.
I guess some people don't follow
Yeah,
it.
I didn't follow the rules.
Everything
I didn't
said
read
wild
the-
card.
I didn't
All
read the
right,
manual.
cool. Wild card.
But okay, so real quick, show of hands. Brucey says anything New Day Usos at a pay-per-view iconic. Anybody?
They had a Hell in a Cell. What was that Hell in a Cell match they had? Wasn't that the final one?
That was
The
like the
final one.
last. Yeah.
I remember the SummerSlam one because for me is the best pre-show match that they ever put on it.
Mm.
That
I mean, they were all
pre-show
great.
match at SummerSlam
Yeah.
was amazing. That match.
SummerSlam
was
one
might have been
iconic.
Not the pre-show.
The SummerSlam
That's why
one
they
might have
put
been
it on
iconic.
the Hell in a Cell.
But I just
that
don't.
match at
I
SummerSlam.
see him as
Yeah.
great. You know, like great tag team wrestling,
Okay.
especially for WWE. Like,
Yeah.
but iconic. I'm not sure. And so-
They
so-
were.
I loved all their
iconic
matches,
tag
but
team
it's
match.
tough. It's tough.
And the
I feel like over time they might become more iconic. You know, like
obviously Devin's
years
pick
now.
with Brock and Cena and Seth Rollins in the Money in the Bank case. I would
Good
kind of have to put that in the iconic category personally. Does anybody agree?
I put it in a good match.
I feel like it's a great match.
Great.
I'm
Great.
just short of
good.
iconic.
Okay, so I feel like
But it's
Devin and I
great.
are outvoted on that one. We got to
Yeah.
put it, I guess, in the great
It's
column.
a great
but
match.
I'm with you, bro.
Guys are all on my list right now.
How about my pick? How about my pick? Kofi Mania at WrestleMania 35. Is that an iconic moment or an iconic match?
It's
a
it,
moment.
It
Not-
could have been a
it's
great
not a-
iconic, but time has not made it great by the way they treated it afterwards. And that Brock Lesnar 8-second debacle. Just
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of, you know.
Yeah, but at
it
the same
wasn't
time,
in the main,
that was a
and it
long
wasn't in the
Kofi
main
run.
event.
Ended by
Yeah.
8 seconds. You know,
And it wasn't the main event. Yeah.
It wasn't in the main event, and also
main event of
we are correct.
WrestleMania. Kofi's 11.
in
Like, this is not a
the
boyhood
best-
dream anymore. This is Kofi's 11-year odyssey to a title.
Yeah. I love
So,
it. I love it.
And the
I
match
just-
itself was just off the charts. Like you put those two together, and of course you're going to
close.
have a tremendous
close.
match.
But, yeah.
So we're saying close, not iconic.
Oh,
We're going to leave it at like great.
It's great for sure.
it's great.
It's just iconic.
Okay.
It's
I'm
hard.
good with that. I just figured in that 5-year period, which
Yeah.
was what I was going on, the only Mania we had, there was, we had before that, there was WrestleMania, there was all of that, but
Yep.
the only one we had was Kofi Mania.
Yep.
So that kind of made it iconic in my eyes. But I can see why people would say, okay, I'm there. And Felipe's pick, of course, Brock versus Seth Rollins.
It's a great moment.
It was a great moment.
It's my
It was a tremendous moment.
but for me, it's a moment. It's a great match, good match. I don't know if
It's very good. It's like on the verge of
very good with a awesome moment, but not iconic.
Yeah, definitely,
Agreed.
definitely,
Yeah,
awesome
ending.
iconic moments, and maybe almost an iconic ending. But it was like great match at best in my book.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, and then of course we got Gonzalo with Gargano and Adam Cole in a cage
It's
full of
iconic
weapons.
from my heart. Iconic.
Great,
kinda
have
but
to
for me,
say-
it's more
And Adam
iconic.
Cole.
It's more iconic for
Like-
me, Gargano and Ciampa.
I
That's
feel
for me, it's more iconic.
I feel as though this match is iconic, not just for NXT, but for WWE. Because look at
T-shirt.
there you go. At first, I thought it was DX. I
got
couldn't
shot.
tell.
No, it's 2018.
Got
man.
Shotzi,
Chicago.
Oh, Shotzi.
Yeah.
That's
Got
my girl.
Shotzi. Let's go.
That's my girl. Shout out to Blackheart Moon. You need to come back. But
Mm.
I believe that match is both. Like, it's not only iconic for NXT, it's probably iconic in WWE. Like, if they put out their best matches of the last 5 years,
That right there. Yeah.
that's on it.
The second.
In my
2
book,
out of
that's
3
on it.
falls.
I mean, yeah, like just WWE alone, I think that and maybe like Ciampa Gargano would probably be in their best matches.
The question here is this match in the same level as Brett and Shawn, Savage and Steamboat, Cena and Rob Van Dam?
So I think there's
Almost.
I feel like for
Almost.
they don't
It
all
feels
have
like
to
it
be
measures up in
at
my
that
book.
same level. I think
Because these are if you look
We're
at the
talking
two of
about the
them,
same level, Austin and Rock.
if you look at the two
That's
of
the
them,
thing.
they are like NXT's version, like modern day version of Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage. And so
Yeah.
That's
I would
as
kind
iconic
of-
for me.
No,
For
but
me,
wait a
it's
second.
Gargano and Ciampa. That's the trilogy for me.
I mean, that one is as well, but I think this is too.
No, yeah, but I still remember when Ciampa got the title from Aleister Black. That moment.
All right, so I'm probably going to be John Cena in
put
this shit.
Another.
Does anybody else think this is iconic?
I think it's iconic.
Okay, there's
I'm
two.
putting that iconic.
Iconic.
Yeah.
There's 3. I think we got to add it to the iconic list, considering, I mean, maybe Bruce and Wendy would have something to say, but they ain't here. So
I want a recount on the CM Punk John Cena matchup.
I demand a recount as well. Yeah.
I think that one was
I'm with you.
iconic.
Hey,
I'm with you. That should be
I was with you
iconic.
guys.
These notes.
I was with you guys, okay?
That was
I couldn't help.
6 and
Bruce and
7
Wendy.
had it on our list.
I know. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And yeah, career versus streak, iconic, obviously.
Iconic.
Absolutely.
Cactus Jack and Triple H. That is a
No,
great
it's not within the.
It is a great match. I'm not sure it's iconic. It is probably the best
For
match.
me, it was an
5 years,
amazing match. It's close for me, but I
It's
don't even
very
know if
close.
I
It
would
was
say
a
it's
truly
iconic.
amazing match.
Like
This is one that
yeah.
before this list, I would go back and watch. Like
Yeah.
during Royal Rumble season, like
Yep.
usually I'll watch just the Rumble matches from the
Yep.
last few years, kind of get hyped. But if I got to this one, I'm going to that match first, and then I'm
actually,
going to
there
the
was-
Rumble match.
there was a streak of WWE matches at the Royal Rumble, like from 1998 till 2001. There was Kurt Angle and Triple H, Cactus
Right.
Jack and Triple H,
Right.
Rock versus
And they were great
Mankind and
matches.
the I Quit.
Great.
Undertaker versus Undertaker and Shawn and the casket match.
Right.
Bret and Taker and WrestleMania. There was a streak of really awesome WWE matches in Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like there were periods where it seemed like WWE hit a groove and they were just booking beautifully and everything was coming out that was fucking amazing and all that. But like,
and then we got Triple H versus Papa Pump.
Right. Oh God, the lowest to the low.
And the streak will send it.
Just pop that balloon, man.
Jericho and The Rock until
just pop that balloon and holler if you hear me.
Streak over.
Oh man.
Is that Undertaker fan?
Actually, on the same event,
for this particular match, it definitely fits in that amazing group of matches at the Royal Rumble, that streak that Felipe was talking about.
I gotta bring up Scott Steiner, man.
Actually,
Scott Steiner. But I don't know if it's iconic.
That match, this match of Papa Pump made us forget another great.
Can we please stop talking about Big Papa Pump?
No, guys,
I want to talk about Mick Foley.
On that note, that's my exit.
I was talking about Big Papa. Don't call me.
I gotta go.
And
Don't let me talk about Matt. Okay.
Last but not least, I love that match with Jeff Jarrett and China. That is a gold match. Is it iconic? Good. Probably not. It's very good. It's on the verge of great, just considering the circumstances. But
very good.
Agreed.
Very good.
Agreed.
Not iconic. I mean, it's for China.
Great career iconic.
It's one, but I think we probably would first remember like China versus Jericho for the Intercontinental title before China and Jeff Jarrett. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
That was before, yeah.
Yeah. But I think when you think about China wrestling men, you go immediately to Chris Jericho. And you kind of, like, I'd almost forgot she wrestled Jeff Jarrett. I'm not going to lie. And that's not her fault. That's more Jeff Jarrett's fault. You know what I'm saying?
2 months before, China main evented Raw in a triple threat against Austin and Triple H.
And Triple H, right. Damn. That's what I mean. Like China's had more iconic matches in her career. This one was very good, but I wouldn't put it on that level.
Yeah.
Cool. So that wraps up all the matches.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to get all the iconic matches together. They'll probably have to be a form because the poll, I don't think they're going to give us enough options on social media. Like Twitter gives you 4. We have like 12.
Job now.
Like out of 20, we have like 12. Yeah, Pat, well, I'm going to get the results. I'm going to put a form together. I'm going to put it out on social media platforms. I'm going to send it to these guys to do the same so all of our fans can vote. And we'll give it like a week. And we'll just see what happens and go back, tabulate the results. And we will come out with an announcement of according to you, the number 1 match, the most iconic match in WWE.
I need a recount
history.
For Punk and Cena.
I feel you, dude. I feel you. Like, obviously, I'm not
gonna let that
my
go.
love.
No, I will not.
My love for CM Punk has dwindled over the years.
Oh,
but
yeah. No,
that does not mean I don't respect the man for what he did, because I was tuning out of WWE until the night he sat down on that ramp. And then all of a sudden I was
brought me back from the dark ages, man.
Go on.
Yeah.
Summer of Punk brought me back from the dark ages of wrestling.
WWE would be better when Vince McMahon is dead. What? He said what on that mic?
Did you ever in your entire existence think anybody would utter those words on Raw?
Never.
At the end of the show,
never.
On a Raw ramp with a WWE mic in his hand. Never. And he said it, and you were like, holy shit.
Like, this is real.
Like this is happening. Like this is him being him, because they're cutting his mic off.
They're cutting his mic off.
Oh, come on.
You can say anything about.
And again, like I took the hook. It was hey, it's real.
We can say anything about CM Punk, but we all have to agree that WrestleMania 29 has to be a triple threat: Cena, Punk, and Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to happen.
That's true.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yes,
it should have been. That might have been iconic, honestly.
That would have been iconic.
Especially if it was one time.
And that would have been one. Yeah,
I know we already said that. I gotta say it again. It would happen one
that's
time
true,
only.
That's true. That's fair.
There you go.
Okay.
Yep, never again, never before.
That one was
Sure
just
can.
never before. Period.
Right,
In
yeah.
the
CM
immortal,
Punk.
in the immortal words of Grandma Wendy, sure, Jan. Sure.
Never ever.
Sure.
Man.
But yeah, I do want to thank everybody that came along on this odyssey. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to break this down into a couple of parts or if I'm just gonna be able to put it out there, but it will be out tomorrow. You please watch, enjoy, and come to our social medias, look for this form coming up, vote on this so we can figure out what the most iconic match in WWE history is. I think I already have my, looking at it, it's like, yeah, Iron Man match, Brett, Sean, done. But maybe fans will think otherwise, and that's what we're here for. And I'm going to start throwing it around so people can, put their social media platforms out there. I know we got a combination of shows and maybe, people don't know. So let's start with Clark Street. Which one of you guys wants to give us your social
Devin looks
medias?
exhausted, so you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in here real quick. You want to catch us? There's one place you need to go: ClarkStreetWrestling.com. That's Clark ST for the abbreviation STWrestling.com. We're on all social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook community page. Check us out. Get your merch. It's also there on ClarkStreetWrestling.com. Again, ST for the abbreviation.
And
check us out and get your beach towels.
Beach towels. I gotta get one of them. And by the way, all those platforms have the Psycho seal of approval. I am following. I am subscribed. I am all that. So if you want to find me there, you will. You're gonna find probably Felipe and Gonzalo and Wendy and Bruce. Like we're all part of that.
Yes.
We're also all a part of the suplex community as well. Even though a lot of times we have to use the translator, we're still a part, and we would like to let either one of you guys tell everybody where the people can find you on social media. So Felipe, Gonzalo,
Suplex Instagram, Suplex Chile on Instagram and Twitter, and Suplex Chile on Instagram, Suplex Radio. On Facebook and Twitter. And this weekend we're gonna do this same exercise with Latin. We're gonna do the same show with our friends of Lucha Maniacs from Ecuador.
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
And Royal Wrestling from Spain.
Nice.
So
It's international,
y'all.
This is the magic of our 100th episode. You know what I'm saying?
they received the exactly same questionnaire that sent you guys. So this weekend we are gonna know what are they picks, and we are gonna compare.
You guys are gonna do this. You guys are gonna do this live on Twitch, right?
Yes, actually, this Saturday.
Okay. Okay.
So we're gonna put the link on our social media. So
I will have to
on Latin, on Spanish.
I'll have to tune in and hold up my phone with the translator on, but I will tune in.
Awesome.
And of course, congratulations to the Top Rope Wrestling Talk family on the 100
On behalf
episode.
of the three, thank you. Thank you.
The reason why we are all here.
Yeah, no.
And of course, don't forget, Suplex Era is here to stay
in our Top Rope
and
group,
that,
man.
And that's boys and girls.
I'm proud because,
you
like I
can
said,
be 20 times champion.
Gonzalo sat under the Psycho tree. He learned. Next thing you know, he's AEW champ. He's North American champ. He's following in my footsteps, man. Somebody's got to take it when I'm done. So that's my brother right here. I don't know what to say. He just keeps pulling titles at every pay-per-view. I'm like, damn, he's me. He stole my mojo. This is bullshit. But seriously though, I want to thank everybody that's watched us, everybody that's subscribed to us at Fox Den Production on YouTube, everybody that's following us at Top Rope WT on Twitter, everybody that's invited themselves and joined and became over the 400 plus members we have at Top Rope Wrestling Talk on Facebook.
Yeah.
Even the 100 or so, like we started this thing, we had 40 followers across all platforms. Now we are approaching 1,000 across all platforms. 100 episodes deep. This thing has grown. This empire has just blossomed. And we have all of you to thank for it, not just fans, but the guys from Clark Street, the guys for Suplex, everybody that's supported us, that's watched us.
Thank you, sir.
Helped us. you know, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I questioned Devin on like what I should be doing with these live streams or intros or whatever the fuck. Because if you notice, I don't know much, so I have to ask somebody, and Devin is usually my dude. You know, Felipe.
Mine too.
Well, yeah, he seriously, he's our Yoda when it comes to this shit. We just literally teach me, master, teach me.
You guys are too
And
kind.
Felipe,
I will talk to you tomorrow, Devin. Don't worry.
Felipe, I gotta say, two of the biggest blessings I've had through this show was you know, obviously Shells and getting the interview and everything else, and then having Felipe pop up in the live chat, because immediately, like, the three of us all just became family. And then all of a sudden here comes Gonzalo, and just add him to the mix, and again, this grew in Superplex and all this stuff, and just this ride has been unbelievable for me, for Bruce, for Wendy. Like, we literally, every episode leading up, episode 98, 99, we're like, can you believe this shit? Because it's not a work, y'all. It's a shoot. To get 100 episodes deep or 200 episodes deep and still have the same people riding with you, supporting you, wanting to do another episode, wanting to have your back, wanting to grow this thing and do all that and be on the same page with you is not easy. And even the ones that we, you know, hadn't kind of lost along the way, whether it be the Hobo Clown or Evil Evan or whatever, we still appreciate those guys, because without them, we're not here today. This just literally started as like a couple people from the Facebook group got on Skype and we're talking about pay-per-views and, you know, the start of AEW and that sort of thing. And Bruce said, why don't we just record this shit? And I was like, oh, I know how to do that. And we cut like a 30-minute show. You know, I planned on trying to put it in a Facebook group because I was dumb enough to think you could just post a 30-minute video. That's where this began. You can't, by the way. If you didn't know, you can't. It's not a thing. It doesn't happen. So I had to create a YouTube page. I did. Eventually, the Anchor came after, and things just started growing. And from there, you know, here we are. And it's been, it hasn't been easy, but nothing worth it ever is. And I can't thank people who have been riding with us from day one enough. I can't thank the guys on the screen enough. I'm honored to be a part of all of this with all of you. So thank you for hanging in there. Again, you got our social medias. You can find podcast anchor.fm/TRWT. You'll see all the platforms there except iHeartRadio. If you want to listen to us there, just go and search Top Rope. Boom, we pop up. Listen, lots of people do. We thank you for that too. I wanted to do that as fast as I could because these guys have hung in there with me when my own crew tapped out. No, they wanted to tap too. So, from all of us to all of you, thank you so much for watching this. We will be back next week with episode 101 and hopefully the announcement of the #1 iconic match, at least from the US side. And then we'll have to compare it when Felipe does his episode on Twitch. You know, that one you can keep me out of. I'm done. This is ridiculous. Like, but again, thank you, Felipe, for bringing this idea to me. As soon as I heard it, I thought, man, this would be perfect for 100, and it really was. And maybe we should have planned on doing it on the weekend when people didn't have to work the next day. But that's my bad. I was just thinking, well, we were
living, you learn. You learn.
Again, one last thing. There was a night where Devin and Hafeez invited me on to do some recap shows, and I think we were up to like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
That was weird.
Just going like out, like we're gonna do AEW. Okay, cool. All right, now we're gonna do Raw. Whatever, let's go. All right, we're gonna do SmackDown. Fuck it, let's go. All right, we're gonna do NXT. All right, let's go. And it was just like an all-nighter. So I figured, like, what difference does it make if it's a fucking Thursday?
All I can say to Hafeez,
boy, was I wrong.
That I hope that I hope that in September I live that live. 2 or 3 in the morning.
I'm hoping for
please,
at least
Mr. President, please.
I'm hoping
I want to travel in September.
At least get an episode in where sitting next to me will be Wendy and Felipe doing a show. Right here, one next to the other. But until then, please, baby. Everybody stay safe out there. If you got to, wear your mask, get your shots. I know I did. I know a lot of people have. And thank God I can finally say this. 100's wrapped. Goodbye, mwah, and good night.
Yeah. Happy 100.
100. Done. Go
One,
home.
1-0-0.
It's over.
That's
Go home.
awesome.
Top Rob Wrestling Talk for life.
Sim Squad Fly Boys, that's my logo. You already know though. It's PBS and Nation Gang. My niggas getting dodo. You pussy niggas, Frodo's fucking hobos looking so-so. 4K shot in slow-mo, haters salty like a dobo. But Coco, we get loco. Hit them cashin', so no. You rap it, then we live it, cause we Stokely on the promo. We classy, ready, blasty, bitches. Why you acting sassy? Can't